All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 5 Minutes of Math. This is Mr. Lunsford, and thank you so much for joining all of us one more time. This is the homework for Thursday, February 15th, and we're looking at angles again, but this time we're looking at one new component of this thing, and we call these vertical angles. Now, what is a vertical angle? You see here, I'm looking at mathisfun.com again, and vertical angles are simply angles that are opposite of each other when two lines cross. So if you have two lines that cross, sort of like the letter X, it means that they share the same vertex, the same corner point. So the vertical angles are equal. Okay, so over here, if you look at this picture that they have, again, mathisfun.com, geometry, vertical angles. Angle A is equal to angle B. Another way of saying that is that angle A is congruent to angle B. So these two angles are the same. And by the way, these two angles aren't labeled, but they're also congruent. They're also sitting so that they have the same measurements. All right. So let's go and look at this another way. Here's the word vertical angle. If you ever forget what vertical angles are, and this is something that I use for myself, I'm going to rewrite the word a different way. Now I'm going to put them a little closer together. And now let's get a close-up view of this thing. Do you see this letter X right here? Well, from my point of view, these are vertical angles. So the blue angles have the same measurement, and the orange angles have the same measurement. So if you ever forget what a vertical angle is, the answer is in looking at the letters themselves. All right? Pretty simple stuff. So let's go on to the question. And SOL tests love this. They love this thing. And you're going to see it again and again in geometry. They love to show you a picture that looks like this. Now, don't let it panic you out. You've just got a bunch of different lines, and they've got a lot of different relationships to each other. So don't let it throw you. Number 14 says we're looking for some supplementary angles. Well, what is a supplementary angle? It's two angles that add up to 180 degrees, or a straight angle. Now, there's multiple answers to this. I'm only going to give you one good answer, but there's a bunch of different answers you could use here. Here's the simplest one, the one I saw first. Angle IJK. Remember, when we named them, we put the vertex, the middle point, in the middle, and it's angle IJK, and angle KJG. All right, so if you add those two up, those are supplementary angles. Now, if you're looking around at this, you could have gone with AKB and BKG. You could have gone with JGC and CGD. There's a lot of different answers, okay? But here, the one that I showed you, IJK and KJG, are just as correct as any other set of supplementary angles you see here. All right. Number 15, we're looking for some complementary angles. Now, this one might not be quite as obvious, but there are still multiple answers to this. We know that complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. So where do we see two angles that add up to 90 degrees? We don't in the picture, but if we do some reasoning, we can see it. So here's CGD, and CGD is 90 degrees because we have that little angle marker right there. Well, if we remember our rule for supplementary angles, if CGD is 90 degrees, then DGF also has to be 90 degrees, because that's a straight line we're looking at right here. See? If we add them both up, we get a 180 degrees. Both of these have to be 90 degrees. Now, let's look at this section. If this whole section is 90 degrees, then that means the two angles in that section have to add up to 90 degrees. So we have angle FGE, and we also have angle EGD. All right? And these two angles together add up to 90 degrees, so that means that they are complementary. All right? And it's that simple. And for this particular question, there is another answer, and let's see if you all can figure that out. There is another right answer that you can find in here. All right, I'm gonna let you see if y'all can figure that out. It's not part of the question, but if you come up with the other complementary angle, I'll add 10 points to your homework. Why not? Now a pair of vertical angles, and remember, we're looking for the letter X. So where do we see a letter X? Oh, look. Do you see that blue right here? Well, that's the letter X. And since we know that vertical angles sit opposite of each other, that means that angle CGD has a vertical angle on the other side. So angle CGD and angle JGF have to be vertical angles because they form that X shape. So again, you see that? CGD and angle JGF are vertical angles. Whoops, went too far. All right, so let's see. That's the answer. We're pretty much done. That's 14, 15, and 16. And thank you all for joining me. And I will talk to you again in 24 hours. Thank you for listening. Y'all have a good one.